It's another original BW Sports 1 production.
Pew pew!
Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? I know right now we're having some technical difficulties on his end. There he is. There he is.
There you go. What is going on the world of BW Sports and all the craziness that is today?
Oh, man. Well, as most can tell, I am not the DaLion. He is currently in a parent-teacher conference meeting thing, so I'm here to...
No, he's not at a parent-teacher conference meeting. He's in the volleyball parents meeting.
The parent-teacher meeting sounded better. I wanted to seem like he was being a bad guy, you know?
That wouldn't be him. That'll be his daughter. No bueno.
How's your day going?
Hey, man, my day is good. I just, that's not supposed to be there yet, so I'm going to remove it.
That is all good.
I got all kind of crazy stuff going on right now. I just got to my hotel. So I am in Sioux City Falls or Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Ah, yeah, that's a beautiful area. I've been out there before.
Hey, bro, the cool part about it. So basically, before we get into all the craziness, hey, we're killing time trying to help Dan get to the spot, but whatever, we'll go with it. But so, I'm here because this is the first leg of my trip out to Washington State University. My daughter is going to be a freshman there this year, so we are moving her in. So I am taking a road trip. I have my truck packed with some of her stuff, and she's with her mom with her stuff packed. So it's fun. I just got here. I've been in the road all day. Saw some very flat lands, 80-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Oh, that is perfect.
Well, it made up for the 65 all the way through freaking Iowa.
Actually, it's ironic that you're talking about Iowa because they have a big race going on out there in Knoxville. So it was probably like boring all the way out through, but you should have stopped.
I went past Knoxville.
You should have stopped at the Field of Dreams field on your way out.
Well, then I definitely wouldn't have made it on time.
Man, well, like play catch. Throw the ball up, catch it. You build it, they'll show up. I mean, come on now. Oh, man.
Great. So, so that's it. I finally got here. I made it just in time for the show. I'm going to talk a little football with you guys, and then I'm going to go find me something to put in my belly. I mean, sandwiches that are pre-packed all day, so it's time for something else.
Yeah, I had filet mignon medallions earlier, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk some football with you.
Not bad. Well, I'm not cooking for 7 days.
Ooh. So we won't get to see any of that delicious food on the One's kitchen that he always makes. But hey, keep you might. But either way, no matter what, enjoy the rest of your travel out there. Before we get into football talk, hope everything is goes well, smooth for you, and you can continue doing 80 miles an hour because. I
don't know. I think that's only South Dakota. It's flat as shit. It was like driving to San Antonio. It was flat as shit. But it's beautiful country. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, I think on the way, I'm gonna slide over to Mount Rushmore. Slide over and take a couple selfies. You know what I mean, with some giant heads and and do a tag. BW Sports is nationwide, baby.
Well, you were overseas for BW Sports One, so why not get the giant presidential heads in a picture too?
Hey, that works for me. So I don't know if he's texting me. No, that's other people texting me. Like I'm popular today. They're gonna have to wait.
Well,
So
I did text him right before the show. He said that he is still stuck in this damn meeting. So,
oh man,
it could be a while.
He's talking because she's a freshman, so they're getting all that high school mumbo jumbo. So he'll slide in. That's all right. We'll be all right. I think we can do without an Eagles fan for once.
God, thank God. Hey, actually, so I wanted to ask you before I don't know what all you are gonna have on here, but did you get a chance to watch Hard Knocks last night?
I have not yet once ever watched the episode of Hard Knocks.
You know what? I was not sure if I wanted to because of the whole it's with the Jets. But if you get a chance just to check out this one because you get to learn a lot about the Daniel Hackett deal with Sean Payton and how much Aaron Rodgers actually loves Nathaniel Hackett in the very first episode. That's actually kind of cool.
Well, I mean, a bromance is only cool so far, Me personally, I don't think Sean Payton was wrong. Could he delivered it differently? Probably, yeah. But he was 100% accurate. That was probably one of the worst coaching jobs I have, Chris Jericho, ever seen.
Yeah, especially when you have Russell Wilson as your quarterback, and he looked like he's never played football before for the whole year.
Oh my God, Russell Wilson is like Marshawn Lynch.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong on that. I think Peyton could have went a different route on that, but yeah, I mean, Rodgers even talks about him doing that Iowa Washka or whatever that is. That he's like, oh, everybody knows about my extracurricular activities outside of football, and I'm like, yeah, you're nationwide, buddy. We know. We know.
Like a little peyote, like a little mushrooms on the side.
Yeah. You get that good Pat McAfee kush.
Oh man, you can damn would know about bromance. Look, listen, see, this is the stuff that we cannot.
Uh-oh. Frozen. See, folks, this is what happens when you become nationwide. You get frozen in a position like this because you have that crappy South Dakota internet going on. So let's mute his camera once. Sorry, this is going to be a rough one tonight, folks, until Dan gets on or until the one gets his camera fixed. But I know there's another headline that came out today. So if the one comes back from this, we will switch from him having that. Let's take this. The whole Henry Ruggs deal. Henry Ruggs was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for his fatal DUI crash back in November 2021, where he killed a Las Vegas woman and her dog. He could be eligible for parole after 3 years. He pleaded guilty in May to 1 count of DUI resulting in death and 1 count of misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter in the crash that killed Tina Tintor and her dog, Max. So we have that going for us right now, too. Let's see if we can get Damon back. He's back.
I hope.
I was just talking a little bit while you were gone about the whole Henry Ruggs thing, about how that was a big headline today. His 3 to 10 years for his DUI crash, which was kind of, I thought was very, I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I think it was very lenient. He should be in for a lot longer for what he did, but it is what it is. I'm not the prosecutor, so that was.
All right, say again. What are we talking about?
The Henry Ruggs sentencing was today.
Okay.
He got 3 to 10 years. I think I was just talking about that while you were frozen. I personally think that they were very lenient on him, and he should have gotten a lot longer. But It is what it is. I'm not the prosecutor.
I completely understand. You know what I mean? You can only go with what the law in that particular Lord have mercy. In that particular county, state, or province or whatever. So I mean, yeah.
It is what it is.
So let's get into it while I can. Before I got full bars, but I'm in South Dakota.
I mean, I was making fun of you while you were frozen too. I said this is what happens when you become nationwide and you go to South Dakota with their crappy internet. So,
right. I mean, I don't even attempt to use the hotel. I went right for my Google Pixel hotspot.
Perfect.
All right. So let's get into it. He'll get there when he gets in. So we are dealing with the North divisions today. We knocked out the East last week. We're going to play with the North today. We're going to start with the AFC North. These are your 4 teams in the North. I can't really play with my notes right now because if I do anything, it might kick me off. So news and things of what's going on in this particular division. Obviously, hot talk is Baltimore and all of the additions that have been made to Baltimore with the signing of Lamar Jackson and a long-term deal, bringing in Odell Beckham, people coming back from injuries, running back, got a couple receivers to spread the ball out with the tight end and Mark Andrews. So Baltimore is actually looking pretty strong in this division. You got anything on Baltimore?
I think, we talked about it last year with the whole Lamar Jackson deal. We thought he was going to hold out and not play if he didn't get that contract. So let's see if he can live up to that big contract. He's got all those weapons. I'm actually kind of shocked OBJ went to Baltimore. I thought he would have went to maybe Kansas City or something like that. So I want to see how well those two connect because that could be a real good 1-2 punch between Lamar and OBJ.
I mean, it could be a 1-2, 1-2-3 punch. It could be a 1-2-3-4 punch. When it comes to his safety blanket with Andrews, and then you boy, can I not think of this man, the running back's name right now. But he's got stupid amount of weapons, and they led the league in rushing last year with him being hurt 90 games.
A.K. Dobbins.
Yes, Dobbins is back. Yes, so they got it's going to be pretty good. I mean, this division might come down to those first 4 or 5 games, how long Joe Burrow is out with this calf strain.
Yeah, I think that's going to be big. If he can't make it to start the year, Baltimore could be the early favorite to win that division. Hint, hint.
I guess the word I was using needed was jurisdiction.
Same thing.
Somebody noted me.
Same thing.
Yeah. So, so Baltimore looks good. Cincinnati, who won the division, Cincinnati won the division last year, looked pretty good. Taken out again, by Patrick Mahomes, but Cincinnati looks good all around. I'm more concerned on the defensive end. Not so much as the offensive line with Joe Burrow getting sacked as much as he did. I'm concerned about the defense with them safeties that were gone.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but I think they did a pretty good job in the draft. I know it's hard to tell because of them all being rookies, but I was really a big fan of them getting the safety Jordan Battle when they got him. I think that was a huge addition for them, especially in that secondary. Then they added Eli Apple too.
All right, so offensively, I don't think they have any problems if they can keep Joe upright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Him and Jamar Chase is ridiculous, and that's pretty much it. They're ridiculous.
I mean, okay, so let's face it, though. Burrow is out for any lengthy time with that calf injury, or he deals with that injury throughout the year. That's really going to open that division up because Baltimore is going to be good, and I know we're going to get to the other two, but I really think Pittsburgh is going to be much improved this year as well.
I agree.
I knew you'd like that, but
I don't agree. As in, I think they'll be division champ. Only way that happens if we have significant injuries on two other teams. But I do feel that this all around, these four teams, this division is the best division in football when you come down to it. You look at quarterback play. I know Pickett is young, going into his second year, but his last 8 games, he played pretty well. I think he was 6-2, put him over the 500 mark, which Dan didn't think that we could do. I told him don't ever discount Mike Tomlin, but I think his connections with Pickens and Najee Harris and a little more stability in that offensive line, I think they're going to surprise people on offense a little more than they did last year. So I think they're going to get the ball down the field. They're deep, but it's all defense in Pittsburgh. 100% defense in Pittsburgh.
And I know it's not that big of a deal anymore, but adding Allen Robinson as a veteran wide receiver is really going to help them out too. That it'll be a good leadership role for him to, I don't want to say take control, but he can help lead Pickens and Pickett both and show them like, hey, you know what? I'm a veteran wide receiver. Here's how we can improve. And I think that's really going to help them out.
All right. 100%. I agree with you. I think they're going to be pretty good. And you get Deshaun Watson for a full season. He's in camp, the whole camp. And it's not going to be what little bit we saw of last year. Cleveland's going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be good enough. I think they're going to be a 500 team, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
No, but that defensive line, though, if Myles Garrett doesn't get suspended or hurt or whatever, and having Zadarius Smith also on that D line,
yeah, it's going to be hard to run the ball.
Yeah. And
Chubb's back. Chubb's playing, so yeah. Cleveland's going to be good. They're going to be decent. How about that? I'll say they're going to be decent.
Yeah, like you said with Pittsburgh, though, too, in the same aspect, I think Cleveland's thing is going to be their defense as well this year. Offensively, it's going to be what it is. I'm not saying their offense is going to be bad, but I think their defense is going to be a little bit surprising. It's just their numbers are going to look bad because of Baltimore and Cincinnati and Pittsburgh being in their division.
Agreed.
So.
All right, so let's get into some predictions with this group. I did have Dan's on the notes, but he'll give them back when he hops in. So, this is the 4 teams in the AFC North, and this how we're gonna finish them. I'll let you go first.
The only thing I would switch on how you have the predictions there is.
Oh no! That's just an alphabetical order from.
I know, but I'm saying. For my rankings, how I think they're going to finish in the division, the only thing I would switch is Baltimore and Cincinnati. Banking on Burrow finishing the season healthy, I think it's Cincinnati wins the division. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, right there. It's going to come down to like a play or two between the two of them in both their games for second, and then Pittsburgh third, and Cleveland finishing out the division. Honestly,
yeah, this is what I got for this division. I got Baltimore at 12-5. I got Cincinnati and Pittsburgh both at 10-7, and I got Cleveland at 9-8.
Yeah, I forgot to write down records. So
that's all right. It's okay.
No, but I kind of agree with you on the 12-5 for Baltimore. But I think Cincinnati win one more than them. At 13-4.
I can see it, but I think these first 5 games is going to be pivotal because I don't think Joe Burrow plays at least the first 3.
And if he does, he's not going to be,
you see how slow they started last year. They finished up well because they started slow because he was hurt last year coming out of training camp. So we'll see. I just like what Baltimore does. I think Baltimore is probably one of the most complete teams in the league, offensively and defensively. And I just see too many gaps in Cincinnati this year. Not saying that they won't be challenging or a team that can go the other way. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a fun season to watch this division.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking here at Cincinnati's schedule. So let's say he misses the first week. It's against Cleveland. I would see him back week 2 against Baltimore, and then they play the Rams on Monday night, and then Tennessee and Arizona. So, I mean, they have a little leeway because I'm not saying Tennessee and Arizona are going to be terrible, but
Arizona is.
Yeah. But we don't know what we're going to get out of Tennessee because their quarterback debacle is wild.
Yeah, we'll talk about them in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So I just think that little stretch there, they have a little leeway that if like Burrow does not play week 1, they can rebound, play however against Baltimore.
I don't know if they can beat Cleveland without Joe Burrow.
I don't know either. But let's say they lose that game, though. You know they're going to show up against Baltimore. It's just the way it is. Then they get the Rams. Okay, sure, Monday night. And then you got Tennessee, Arizona, and Seattle and 3 straight weeks after that. So they have a chance with him not playing week 1 that they can rally for some pretty big wins and go on a streak before the bye week.
Well, we hope. Well, they hope.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Right. All right. So moving along, that takes us to the Great North.
What?
The NFC North. Here we go. The Packers, the Bears, the Vikings, the Lions. The black and blue division is absolutely black and blue because this is a 1.5 team race.
Yeah. I mean, is this all joking aside, is this division even worth having like a very long discussion on? Because let's face it, it is going to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we can start with Green Bay since they're first. I mean, it's the after Aaron Rodgers years. We got Jordan Love. We don't have a whole lot of film on him. We don't really know. I mean, we hear a lot of talk. Aaron, even though he's gone, speaks highly of him. Everybody's supposed to speak highly of him. You know what I'm saying? What we want to do is see it on the field. Now, granted, Green Bay does have a pretty decent defense that can shelter him along some very exciting wide receivers, but we don't know the chemistry or, any of that foolishness. So I'm not looking for a whole lot out of Green Bay.
And my other thing with Green Bay is who did they put around Jordan Love to begin with? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to throw him into the fire and have, you got A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones at running back, but who's he throwing to? Christian Watson? That's his best wide receiver?
I mean, they're supposed to be good receivers. They're supposed to, be ready to turn that corner, like.
Romeo Dobbs, I guess? I don't know. Like, I can't.
I guess they're supposed to grow together.
Yeah, they got a lot of growing to do. I mean, that's painful, but I mean, I want to see Jordan Love do good. I don't want to talk smack on him. I want to see him do good, but then I'm just like, oh, dude, what bad? Like, this is a bad time for him to be taking over.
I just want him to do good, just so the Packers don't look like complete asses for drafting somebody who's played 12 minutes.
Well, I mean, and also, their backup is going to more than likely be Sean Clifford. So,
ooh, boy, it's getting good in Green Bay.
Right.
All right. So let's move over to the Lions. Pretty good year last year. Just barely missing. A lot of good things going on. They got old Mission Boy leading the defensive side of things with Aiden Hutchinson. I still think he should be anchoring that defense. So there's a lot of upside to Detroit. They've been down so long, you couldn't do nothing but go up. And they seem to be, on the right path to success. Are they ready to win the division?
I think they're the best team in that division.
On paper.
But that says a lot, though, considering. I mean, we sat here before because Green Bay used to be the best team because of Aaron Rodgers. Well, we can't say that because they don't have Aaron Rodgers. The fact that Detroit looks as good as they do on paper, they could put it on the field. Why can't they win that division?
I mean, I'm not saying they can't win the division. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, on paper, it'll look good, but we know games are played on the field, not on paper. So
no, I agree. I know what you're saying. I was just saying for argument's sake, like they look like right now on paper that they're the best team in that division. So we'll see. Minus Jared Goff. Let me throw that one out there.
You gotta give him a little bit of respect, right? A little bit.
A little bit. But which Jared Goff are you getting?
Right. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to give him a little love, man. I'm trying to give him a little love. I mean, I tried to give Mitchell Trubisky a little love. Get out of that foolishness, Chicago, and you are what we thought you are.
Lost a starting job to a guy with tiny hands. Like
hands. Like cabbage.
$5 admission to see how small these hands really are.
That's ridiculous. All right, so I guess we can go lateral over to the Bears. Again, a team that can only go up.
Yeah.
And I feel pretty good about the Bears this year. I do. I feel pretty good, especially with a division that is so just I don't know. I mean, you can pretty much throw all of these names in the hat and put your hand in there and pull out the division winner. So, but I like the things that Chicago has done. That they signed the Indianapolis Colts player. Justin Fields is making great strides. So, he played great last year. So, we can only hope.
Yeah, I like the DJ Moore move that Chicago did. Obviously, this is not to talk smack on Justin Fields, being that he was from Ohio State and they aren't successful, but I think that's enough to give him a little bit of a boost to be a better quarterback because he hasn't really been surrounded by a whole lot other than St. Brown. I think DJ Moore might give him the opportunity to shine as the quarterback that everybody touted Justin Fields to be coming out of college.
I mean, listen, when you're as good as he was at that school in Ohio, as good as he was, you're going to go to a team that is absolutely trash.
Yeah.
How you survive, is in first 3-4 seasons if we're going to see if you're going to be a halfway decent, good, or great quarterback. And he's gotten better every year. Everything that he's done, he's gotten better every year. And it's not like when you look at it, you say, well, he's a running quarterback because he's had to do all this in Chicago with nothing. But he can sling that thing all over the field. But you can't sling it all over the field if you ain't got nobody to sling it to. So, but I like Chicago this year. I do. I think they got some good dynamics going on. And I think they'll surprise somebody in the division that's wide open. Oh, this chair's got arms. Nice.
And their defense was pretty decent last year. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they had one of the younger defenses in the league, so they've stuck together pretty much from last year to this year. So that can only get better for them.
Right. That leaves Minnesota. Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. And how you like that?
Well, I think they're going to struggle a lot with not having Dalvin Cook anymore, to be honest.
Preach.
On that offense. Jordan Addison at wide receiver. Good luck trying to catch anything because Justin Jefferson is going to catch everything. And defensively, they were not good. I mean, look how many games that they blew leads in because their defense was trash.
Well, they should be pretty good if all their games are day games. If they got any night games, it's a wrap.
Well, that guarantees them. Let's see here. How many losses this year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they got 5 losses guaranteed this year.
Guaranteed.
Well, no, 4 because one of them's against Philly.
Oh.
Ta-ta! Had to throw that shot in there. Had to throw that in there a little bit.
Well, you got to, because he gets you all the time where you can't defend. So,
how do you like it now, Dan? You might not be watching it now, but when you rewatch this, enjoy. I'm kicking you while you're down right now.
He says he's about to be done, but
Right.
I don't know really. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember how far he's from the high school. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Take your time. Maybe his car will break down like the Eagles.
No,
Super
we don't
Bowl
want
run.
to. No, we can't wish that kind of mojo.
No, I said maybe his car will break down like the Eagles in the Super Bowl. He'll just stall out as he's trying to get to the finish line of his house, and he'll just have to walk the rest of the way. You know.
You don't want him, man. You see that gut?
I mean that because I care, Dan. I promise. I
we
promise.
love you. We love you.
Tolerable.
Tolerable.
I like him outside of football season.
Okay, I can give you that. All right, so predicting the NFC North. I guess I'll take this one.
Yeah.
If I can find my damn, there they go. Let's see. I'm going. This is where it gets crazy. Right? I'm going the Bears at 11-6.
Ooh.
I'm going Detroit at 10-7, Minnesota at 9-8, and Green Bay at 7-10.
I'll take Detroit with the 11-6, Chicago with the 10-7, Minnesota. I was debating on Minnesota being like on that 8-9 or 9-8 level.
Yes.
So I'll just say 9-8 just for the sake of having them be above 500 because I think they could get there. And Green Bay, I mean, I can't see them winning more than 5 games, honestly.
I was pushing 7.
Yeah. 5, 6 is being generous. I just don't know. Like, if Jordan Love gets hurt, and I'm not. Obviously, I like Clifford from being from Penn State, but I just don't know if you can really throw him into the fire if Love gets hurt and he'd be the starting quarterback in that offense. Like, that offense is bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad with Jordan Love. Now you're throwing a rookie in there.
Yeah, it's not I don't see a positive scenario out of this with Green Bay at all. Now they can, Jordan Love can turn out to be a Brock Purdy. You never know.
That's
yeah.
Because if he would be a Brock Purdy, he would have already been out of Green Bay and playing somewhere else because somebody would desperately want him. Like, oh, you're going to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a while. We want you to be our quarterback. He was not getting those phone calls.
We didn't know Brock Purdy was Brock Purdy until Brock Purdy got, well, looks like you're up, kid.
Actually, I was a big Iowa State fan when he was there. Like, there was a lot of times, like, I've followed some of their games, especially when they played Iowa. And I was like, Brock Purdy, man, like, he could be the best quarterback in that draft class. And then he went to the 7th round and was like, never mind.
You should have stuck with it.
I should have. I like Brock. I thought he was an NFL caliber quarterback. I mean, nobody wants to say it about for a school like Iowa State, but like, he just played the NFL style when he was there.
You can only play the teams that they put in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's simple as that. You know what I mean? I can't get mad. Like, that's the schedule. You know what I mean? Like, they dog, like, I'm like dogging Michigan's first 4 games. But if you look at a lot of these powerhouse national championship teams, they got some cupcakes on the schedule. Alabama might not play them at the beginning of the season. Please believe there's a Lafayette Tech stuck in there at week 8.
Yeah. Well, we get Delaware. Of all teams, the Delaware Red Hens or whatever they're Blue Hens, whatever they are, the Delaware Blue Hens. 2nd week of the season.
Hey, I'm with you. I got at least if I'm out a coach for 4 games, I got a pretty good lineup for 4 games.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were all 50-point winnable games.
you're not wrong. The toughest part of their schedule is
Always the end.
November. Literally
Always
November.
the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
always the end.
November is literally the toughest part of their schedule.
Yeah. So we're waiting on freaking Daniel to try to make it over here. So I want to hear his 2 cents on
the North.
I want to see his picks. I know what his picks are. I just can't remember them all the way, and I don't want to say them wrong. And I don't have that app on my phone. It's on both of my laptops, and I can only have it on 2 things.
Okay, so since we're going to talk about the North here, or since we're on the topic of the North, my question to you is, of the teams in the North from both divisions, AFC and the NFC, who do you think is built more to maybe be a Super Bowl favorite? I mean, I know we talk a lot about Baltimore and Cincinnati, but
You mean outside of those 2?
just in general, because I mean, you're talking, they still got to face the Bills, they still got to face the Chiefs. They're not going to be easy outs. Who is out of any of those teams, and even in like the NFC, I hate to say it, the Eagles and whatnot, who of the North teams are the teams that are capable of, being in the Super Bowl out of those 2 divisions?
The NFC, there's not one single team in that division that is capable of playing in the Super Bowl.
No, that's fine. But
no, I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about Baltimore and Cincinnati. Are they that team that could knock Patrick Mahomes down?
Well, I'm more inclined to say Baltimore, because with their style of offense, the best way to beat Patrick Mahomes is keep him on the sideline.
Yeah.
Now, Baltimore, they say that they want to open it up and spread the ball out. They're going to do those things, but Baltimore is a North division. They're going to run the football. And if you can do that, I know Kansas City has a stout up front, but Baltimore will keep coming. And they'll keep coming. They can hit you in the middle, and they can hit you on the outside. When you get to worry about Dobbins, and then all of a sudden Lamar takes off. And then when you start worrying about Lamar, then he throws that thing across the middle to Andrews. So I feel that they can time consume the ball and keep it away from them. And their defense is enough that I think that they could – you can't stop him, but I think you can contain him a little bit with a little bit of, and I think Baltimore has that. Cincinnati's had their shot.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I would agree on that, because I said here, and I completely forgot, Lamar's going to have Rashad Bateman back. So that's another weapon for him on offense. And then, Roquan Smith was like their storybook defender last year. I thought Roquan Smith had a chance to win all the defensive awards last year if he was with Baltimore for the whole year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really felt like he was very capable of being, I don't want to say like Ray Lewis-esque, but Ray Lewis-esque in that defense if he was there for the whole year.
I can see it's possible. So, but yeah, that would be the team. I mean, I think if there was a dark horse, like a very, very dark horse, I mean, I'm not tooting my team, but I think they're better than what people are giving them. I think if the dominoes fell the right way, there's an outside chance, but that would be like, my long shot bet of the year. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
I have more faith in the Fever winning all the rest of the games and making the playoffs.
I mean, the one thing that kind of worries me a little bit, and I know it's just training camp and preseason and whatnot, but that play watching Kenny Pickens go up over top of Joey Porter Jr.
And he's a badass.
Yeah.
Joey Porter's a badass.
Yeah. And his coverage is really well. And for him to cover like that, I don't know. That might be a sign that teams might be able to throw over top of him and for jump balls and beat him.
I mean, yeah, but how many were just like, bro, that's an extra blah, 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 blah catch. Yeah. You know, that was just a great catch because you can't play no better defense than that. That was a great catch, especially from a linebacker. I mean, that's good shit.
Are they playing him as linebacker?
Who, Porter?
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's probably safety, but you know what I mean? That's still great coverage. I mean, one, it was a great throw. I mean, let's not discredit the fact that he put it that only the place that you could put it.
You are not wrong.
So, I think it's gonna be tight, man. You got him, you got my guy from Michigan just back healthy. Oh man, that defense is gonna be really good. It's hard to score.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Minka, let's go, baby. Bo Hawkins. I think he gets 6 picks this season.
Pat Peterson coming in there, dude.
Listen, Mike Tomlin has some fun with these guys, and we always got a Watt. As long as you got a Watt lightening everything up, and then Cam in the middle, it's great. It's great.
And let's be honest, this is going to be another year where Tomlin finishes above 500. He keeps his winning record.
Three coaches in 50 years, bro.
This is not to blow smoke up your ass or the Steelers fans that are out there that are watching, but this is probably one of the better teams, younger teams even, that Tomlin has that if they can keep this core together, they got a lot of potential here over the next several years to be very competitive. They're not going to be an easy out. When they make the playoffs, they're not going to be a, hey, we're going to blow you out of the water type deal. It's going to be,
you're going to earn that win.
Yeah.
You're going to earn that win.
It'd be like a 1-score game at the end. Who's going to make a mistake?
Yeah, I agree.
And it could be, and it's not a knock. It just could be Pittsburgh going up against like a Chiefs and the inexperience from Pittsburgh versus
the greatness of Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean, I'm not going to overstate it or understate it.
Yeah.
When we'll talk about the West, when we get into Kansas City, we're going to have to talk about this Eric Bieniemy not being there offensively. So, you know, I would say to the people, let's slow our bus down when we're exalting Kansas City as the new New England.
Yeah, I don't think they're the new New England, but it's still Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it is. But we've never seen Patrick without Eric Bieniemy.
No, we haven't. But I still think he'll be all right.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I just got to throw it out there.
Oh, I agree.
And we'll get in more depth in that when we get into the West. I think the West is next week.
Ooh.
I don't know. It might be. Hell, I don't know.
And I know you guys are going to do a college football show, but I am definitely down to talk a little college football until Dan gets here because I am to the point where I think that this, instead of having like one Big Ten, SEC, it should just be North versus South. Let's just be done and over with it. North versus South, college, freaking whatever you want to call it. No, don't even call it college football at this point. North versus South, semi-pro football.
Hey, if you go back in our archives, Dan and I called this like 4 years ago. He said it. It's going to end up being it's going to end up being the little NFL is what's going to happen. They're just going to split it right through Tennessee all the way across, and it's going to be the NCAA North and the NCAA South. I mean, because if you look at it right now, when we go to next year, we got all them teams in the thingy. You go to it right now, you can tell, and there's 8 teams, right? As we moving to 8 teams, 6 of those teams are going to be from those 2 conferences.
It's going to be hard not to.
And it was pretty much those 2 conferences anyway. I mean, the ACC was sliding there every now and then.
Well, so here's my thing. This is, first off, Little breaking news here. I'm not going to try and jinx it. I have a little bit of the Phillies game on, and they have a no-hitter going right now in the 9th inning.
Ooh.
With their newly acquired pitcher, Michael Lorenzen, the former Cincinnati Red. That's a shot at Dan as well. But, so back for the college thing, the one thing that kind of annoys me as a Big Ten fan is I don't like the fact that we're not doing a division anymore, or the division thing, because of adding USC, UCLA. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but you're talking now like Michigan, Ohio State potentially playing in the Big Ten championship game every year. So you're looking at like the Big 12, like when they didn't have the division, like it was Texas, Oklahoma every single season.
That sounds like a person who has a team that struggles to be in the conference championship game.
No, I personally like the division split because it gives you the opportunity to see that possibility of like an Iowa or now like a USC or a UCLA come in to a neutral site like that and from the West and possibly win the Big Ten. But now it's like it's literally the two best teams in the conference, and doesn't matter. Even with the split, you're talking like who's been the best teams in the Big Ten every year? Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State's been up there, Michigan State's been up there. Like they're the four best teams that have been consistently at the top of the Big Ten. So you're basically writing off saying nobody else is going to have a chance because they're going to be they're going to be the best teams every year.
Only thing I can say is get better. You know what I mean? We went 10 years where we didn't play in the conference championship game. So that's all I can say is, improve your recruiting. You know what I mean? Improve your NIL stealing. Your NIL/portal stealing. You know what I mean?
I see they're trying to pass a thing through the government on regulating the NIL stuff now because of this whole situation.
Well, they should have been regulating the NIL. They had an opportunity. NCAA had a long time ago to regulate the NIL where everybody can be happy, but the NCAA wanted to be hardball, and so it went to courts, and now they have this, and now you have this mess that everybody has to deal with, and it's basically legalized tampering because you can go into the trend, you can go speak into this kid's ear. And I know Mormon and I spoke about this transfer portal on the basketball show. I mean, I understand it, but I'm not a big fan of it because, there are instances where, it's just not a right fit for you and you need to be somewhere else. I get that, but that's not what's happening right now. Or that number is very small, unlike it used to be 10, 15 years ago where you had that year that you had to sit out if you want to transfer. You knew that it was time to go and you had all those steps. But now it's like a coach can come in here and tell you about this NIL money that we got over here because you're not playing because you got beat out by somebody who you recruited at the same time they recruit. It's like I'm going off on a tangent.
No,
players think that you're the only player that this school is recruiting.
Yeah.
They're recruiting you as a quarterback. Please believe they're recruiting 8, 9 other guys at quarterback just as good as you. So what makes you different when y'all get to school is who does the work better. Oh, he beat me out. Oh, I'm unhappy. Now I'm going to go in the portal. But you got these coaches like, hey, you know what I mean? I got this NIL money. You can get in this portal. You can come over here and get this money. You can play here.
So you brought that up about, being beat out because that still just baffles me, but I'm not shocked. So do you remember Duck Storm that used to play for North Carolina, their corner? Like he was like their stud for a little bit.
Name sounds familiar.
So he transferred to Penn State, stayed 3 months, got beat out in the spring game, and transferred out to Louisville.
That's what I'm talking.
3 months, dude. 3 months. He stuck it out, got beat out, left. Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Do a year. Stay a year. Like college kids do for basketball. They stay a year, go to the pros. Like, whatever, stay a year. But
it's crazy, man. Like another example that Imani Bates. I know I saw him in the summer league, but he did the same thing. You know what I mean? Went to Memphis, figured out you wasn't, the stud that you thought you was, and you transferred to. Well, you was actually supposed to go to Michigan State. They ended up in Memphis, and now you ended up at Eastern Michigan. You know what I mean? So you are blowing out people in Eastern Michigan because you couldn't hack it into real big boy land. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the portal, but I understand the necessity of the portal.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just like Duck Storm abusing it, and just for the record, Michael Lorenzen threw the 14th no-hitter in Philadelphia Phillies history. Just happened.
Well, that is absolutely amazing.
I just have to, since we're a wide range of sports people on our network here, and I know our baseball guy Tim will probably post about it, but this was actually Lorenzen's second start for the Phillies, and he threw a no-hitter.
That is awesome.
So, little tidbit there. So, kind of breaking news for all those that are watching that are baseball fans. We had a no-hitter tonight.
All right. Man. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to make it in. So, let's kind of finish this thing off here. That I can go find some Sioux Falls City food.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I remember this when I was a kid. I went to I took a road trip with my family to South Dakota, and we ate at this buffet place out there. So just make sure you read the labels. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you go to a buffet, just read the labels.
Yeah, I'm not eating no elk nuts today, buddy.
Bingo. I didn't that night. I didn't either that day, but because things were labeled and I asked questions.
yeah, buddy. So, I'm a question answer.
yeah. What is that? That does not look like what it says.
No, not at all. All right, so what do we got here? We got make sure you check out the website to see all of our friends and that you can be friends with Elite Performance. I can't even see it. There we go. Because I normally have a whole other screen. It's different when it's just me. So we got Elite Performance. What is that? Checkered Life Customs. You can bet that. Oh, Raphael's been busy with these prop bets, getting ready for the league too. So make sure you guys check those out. Doc Sports Picks, my bookie, the Fighter's Friend, the One's Kitchen, and Inner Beast Sportswear. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out any of the highlights or the still photos from Dan and the production they put on this past weekend down in Evansville for the SCP, I think it was SCP-3, the cage fights. So it was awesome down there. I heard it was a pretty good turnout. I would like to get Dan to talk about it, but it was a pretty fun thing down there. So make sure you guys keep a track on that for the next one coming up here in a few months. If you love MMA fighting, that's some good stuff.
We actually talked about that Sunday a little bit on the baseball show. Tim and I did. Dan actually messaged me and said they had 14 fights on the main card, and only 3 went to decision. So lots of knockouts and tap outs and all the good stuff in MMA.
Awesome. So why don't you let the people where they can find you?
So you can find me temporarily helping out on the baseball shows on Sunday. It looks like we're trying to do some Sunday night baseball stuff because who doesn't love Sunday night baseball? I am getting back into doing some more of the checkers and wreckers stuff. We just did an interview Monday with Isaac Johnson Racing, making his debut Friday at Lucas Oil Raceway Park for the ARCA series, so you can catch me there. And coming up here within the next month, our new show is going to be debuting. It's a hockey-based show. There's been hockey content out. There's going to be a lot of hockey talk because it's a lot going on during the season. So you can find me there, and I know we can find you elsewhere.
You can find me everywhere. I'm just always you can find me every Wednesday with my man DaLion doing football. Big Storm and I will be back at some point in time with the state of basketball. And then that's it. If you're local in Indiana, you can always find me in the One's Kitchen. So that's what it do. All right. So before we go, we haven't done a One's Thought in a while. I'm gonna go slide one out. There's a lot been going on. It's a really up and down moment for me this last few days. You know, I'm out here getting my daughter off to school. You know, I'm emotional. You know, the second one going off. I got one back home after his master's degree, and I'm got another one shipping off. So it's kind of emotional. But I lost. My family lost a really good mentor for a lot of us young men in our family. My cousin down in South Carolina, we lost him last week. A little bittersweet for our family right now. His services are Saturday, and we're moving her in on Saturday. So it's kind of a emotional roller coaster. So I just want to make sure to tell the people, when you got them, tell them how much they mean to you and what they mean to you, and vice versa. So life is short. Don't let people tell you how to live your life. It's your life. You know, as long as you're not, you know, hurting people or, you know, touching kids or hurting animals. I mean, do your thing. Just, you know what I mean? But make sure you value the people who mean things into you in your life. That's what I got for the one thought.
And just like I'll share with everybody, we love all of you. We love our fans. We love our families, and we love that you guys tune into us when we have our shows.
All right. Well, check us all out. You can get all of our shows replayed on the YouTube channel, BWSPORTS.com, YouTube / or whatever, the slashes and the slashes, whatever. So we got the links all in the poster and the bio. So check us out on all of our stuff. We got great content. We hit pretty much every sport. So if you like it, we got it, we do it, and you'll love it. So that's what we got. So for the source, the one, and via the Dan who stood us up and played hooky, just kidding, buddy. We're out. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Peace. Oh, we keep Indy sporty. My bad. Bye.